got a stage 5 clinger.
I need more time.
Did you hear what I just said to you? Stage 5, virgin, clinger?
Welcome to the Regular or Menthol podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hello.
We give a little thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up. Then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with a Kino rating. And the movie that we're talking about this week, folks, is Wedding Crashers from 2005.
Whoa. Wedding Crashers. A comedy on this channel?
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, right. Great movie. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's a doozy.
It is a hell of a doozy. Now, Chris, before we get into Wedding Crashers, how you doing this week? I feel like I haven't talked to you.
No, I haven't talked to you forever. Yeah, man, it's been a decent week. I was complaining about my wife getting a new car last week. She got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice car, though.
You got 1 week in with the Lexus.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's cool. It's still luxury. Yeah. But I booked a gig for tomorrow. It's a commercial for American Red Cross. So
nice.
Money in the bank, which is always good. But other than that, man, just business as usual. How about yourself? Are you feeling any better?
Yeah.
Are you alive?
I went to the doctor. They were like, "We have good news. You don't have AIDS." The bad news is you're fired. But no. Yeah, I feel great. I'm back. Folks.
We're so back.
We are so back. Yeah, I'm pretty excited though. I have a new lease on life. I'm just ready to just jump into taking action.
Well, isn't that something like
things.
When you're sick and it's like, all you want is to just be 100%. It's like a mental thing where like, dude, I would kill to just be back to normal. You take it for granted almost. You're like, oh my God, dude, when you're not 100%, I hate it.
Yeah, dude. And basically, it was like, I think you just had a virus and your stomach got jacked up by these antibiotics you were on. And that was it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. But you're so right. Like, if you're sick, everything just stops. Your whole mental focus is like, I just want to get better. And when it takes too long, you're like, am I ever going to be normal? This is really crazy. And
yeah, it blows.
You got to stick it out, folks. But
got to see it through.
Yeah. You got to see it through. I mean, I feel good now though. So
good.
It's
anyway, talk to me about this movie, Wedding Crashers. What's the description of this thing?
Well, two divorce mediators whose Adderall dosage is way too high decide to start crashing weddings because they're bored. Pretty soon they figure out that they're getting too old for this shit. After getting exposed during their last big wedding crash, one has to overcome his hesitation for love and the other has to overcome his perception as a fraud. In the end, they get the girls and punch Bradley Cooper in the face.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Nah, this is a great movie, man. I'd say that this is probably my favorite comedy.
This is a big Chris movie.
It is because I'll get into it later, but just the backstory behind this movie, we'll get into it.
Your origins, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about yours. What do you know about this movie? What's the backstory here?
Do you remember when this came out and the cultural phenomenon where people were exposed to the idea of crashing weddings? Do you remember this at all?
Not really, because again, like any other movie, I never really saw it in the theaters, so I probably saw this 2007. But yeah, I wasn't in the world of crashing weddings per se.
Neither was I. I remember that it was news stories of people doing it. They're like, oh my God, you could do this?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, it's going to be just like the movie. I'm just going to be the center of attention, you know? I remember my one friend, Dom, from high school, who is dead now, but just an absolute, like, maniac of a human, burning the candle on both ends kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember he crashed a couple weddings, I guess. I don't know, at least one. And I was like, it's so on brand for that guy. But there was this idea of, oh wow, there's this thing you can do, crashing weddings. Like, let's do this for fun because it's in a movie.
Well, that's exactly the point, is it's in a movie. I just never really understood the logistics of it, because wouldn't you have to have a invitation to get into it?
I don't know. Not really. Because if you Agent 47 it and just like jump over the wall,
right?
Like, let's say it's at a golf course, right?
Uh-huh.
You walk in from some other angle. Let's say even an hour. What was an hour into the reception, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's already got their cocktails in them.
It's a good point.
No one's really thinking about who is that guy over there. It could be anyone from either side of the families, right? So it's all how you approach it.
I guess if it's a small wedding, it's like an intimate one, you're going to stick out. It has to be a big enough wedding, because if you're talking 100 people or less, you're going to stick out. I mean, someone's going to be like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Not to mention, if there's a seating chart, and there's not a spare chair, where you're going to sit for, dinner and just the whole process. I don't know.
Right.
Anyhow.
Well, dinner. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about weddings where the dancing already transpires.
Right.
Because you like, when that happens, people are all over the place, and you can kind of zip in and sit down.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, my freaking mother-in-law crashed a wedding. I remember. It's a whole different conversation, but something like this movie, they have a backstory ahead of time. They have a whole disguise, and they go to the service and everything, and then afterwards they party and do all the shenanigans. But yeah, no, I think it would be difficult to. But again, every movie every wedding that you see in this montage, there, it's a huge wedding. It's probably 200 people plus. So I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is, I remember when this came out, and it was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. Maybe I should do this. And then I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to be at a wedding.
There's that too, dude. It's. I'll tell you what, man. I've been so lucky. I've had very, very minimal weddings in my adult life, and I guess it's because I keep very minimal friends, like close friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't hate weddings, but it's like, it's a commitment. You know what I mean? Typically, you're traveling to get to it, and it's like a whole event. It's the weekend. It kind of
you're missing a day.
Oh, you're
minimum.
missing more than a day. Yeah, it's a whole weekend thing. So
if you're drinking, it's even worse. You're waking up hungover and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Might be good for some people. I don't know, but it's just, for me, I do kind of get into the idea of, let me get a suit on and find a way to sneak in and everything. Yeah. But once I'm in there, I'm like, well, what do I do now? I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna sulk in the corner.
No, I mean, it's something else, man. But yeah, I don't think it's very possible to do anymore. And to keep up the backstory, if you recall when he says, he's like, we lost a lot of good men out there. He's like, playing for the Yankees? It's like, well, to trades and unruly fans, it's like, you couldn't get away with that these days because people have smartphones. This is 2005, right? So
right.
She's not going to call us bluff and just look them up real quick. Whereas it's 2025. You can't get away with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but have I told you the Brian Urlacher story?
You told me it, and it's actually unbelievable to think about. This is a good one, folks.
So my buddy in college was telling me, he's from Jersey, and he was telling me this story of a girl who he went to high school with, right? And basically, I don't know how he found this out, but she was dating this dude who looked, from what I understand, identical to Brian Urlacher, right? In the Jersey area, but I guess it was far enough away that she didn't know who he was. But again, this is back in 2005. It would have been even earlier because, we just got into college. So this guy is dating this girl, telling her that he's Brian Urlacher. Again, you have no Facebook, you have none of these things to be able to prove who you are.
Yeah.
And he carries on this this charade for, I think, if I remember correctly, man, it was probably like a year or two. So like this complete madman would just go away on like Saturdays or something. I don't even know how the logistics of this like occurred, but from what I remember, dude, it's again a long time ago, but I don't know how he was found out, but this dude successfully LARPed as Brian Urlacher with this chick and met her family, like went on trips and stuff for, I don't know, the better part of a year or two. It's just
Dude,
like, I wish I remember more specifics of it because it's like completely insane.
I mean, imagine, yeah, you could get away with more deception back then, but imagine the end of that relationship, how that comes apart.
But she's calling him Brian.
Right.
Like
does she not fully understand who Brian Urlacher is?
From what my buddy told me, he's like,
you know,
he looked identical to him. Like you couldn't, he got away with it. So he would just do whatever he wanted. Be like, I'm at practice or I'm at a game on Sunday. It's just like, all he has to do is just vanish and then just show off what he wants to. But like, that's one of the real ones where it's like, well, what's the end game here? What is this dude's end game? But
yeah, exactly. Because once it goes past a year, well, I mean, once it goes past a certain amount of time, it's, you know, what are you doing here? Because eventually this is going to come out.
Right.
Unless he's just that diabolical, he's just like, let's see how far I can take this.
Well, I don't know, man, because something like this, if you're crashing a wedding or something, it's like a one-time thing or a one day thing. I mean, I can get behind that, but this guy is doing it for a full year. It's like, bro, you got to end the charade at some point. But yeah, so long story short, I'm pointing out that, in my opinion, you can't get away with crashing a wedding in 2025.
You know, we talk about stuff like names and stuff and everything. Every scene in this movie is absurd writing, but what I believe makes this funny is that Vaughn and Wilson, not only do they have great chemistry, but they attempt to take the dialogue deadly serious.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, imagine the writer on this movie just coming up with all these lines on page, right? And he's like, I wonder how I wonder how the actor's going to say this, because in my head it's this certain way.
Yeah,
because it seems like totally completely nonsense when they say it, but because they're the way they say it and their chemistry and everything, you kind of take it seriously, and these guys are just good buds. But at some point, some guy came up with these insane lines on paper.
Well, I mean, he came up with the lines, but the delivery is typically, it depends on the actor, and then the director has his say, like, hey, deliver it more this way. So it doesn't always translate from the page. But these two are just, like you said, they're so natural and so good playing off each other. This is one, at least as far as a comedy, this is one of the best duos I've seen on screen together, playing off each other. Not even just comedy, but any movie. Yeah. It's right up there.
It is. The chemistry is pretty impressive in this movie. So you really feel that these guys are best buds for years. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like that is what makes the movie.
100%, dude. 100%. Right? This movie is literally a masterpiece of facial expressions, timing of the comedy. Yeah. Even just, dude, honestly, even the extras, and I wouldn't say extras, but the secondary characters and
like Todd,
even the bit roles, dude, like the lawyers at the beginning, everyone just kind of nails it. And I would imagine that's again a good director, right? But yeah, man, this one is just, to me, there are good one-liners. There is good comedy in here. But for me, this is so much more just facial expressions. And like you said, the writing, directing plays a heavy part in that. But yeah, it feels like two best friends. And that chemistry between these two is just so good.
We have a theme on our show here where we like to discuss the completely absurd names of characters. And, what are they thinking when they come up with this name? And I was kind of blown away because I didn't know this until I looked it up today. But Bradley Cooper's character name in this movie is Sack Lodge.
Sack Lodge.
Sack Lodge. Now, what is the meaning behind that name there? What's going on there?
5 generations of Lodge family breeding.
Sack Lodge, dude. I mean,
sack lunch. Num 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 num. I don't know, man. It's another one is, I don't know if you paid attention to the beginning, but where they're kind of have these character names when they go to each wedding, but they go to the Indian wedding in the opening montage, and he's like Sanjay Collins and Chuck Vindaloo. It's like they must be at an Irish wedding after that because it's Seamus O'Toole and Bobby O'Shea.
Yeah,
so like they have all these hilarious names for when they go to weddings.
It is amusing that part of the game of crashing weddings is the cover story, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and
they go
part of that.
The one where they go to what do you call it? The Cleary wedding, right at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's do our pregame, and they have to go through this whole process. It's a whole process, man. It's a thing.
And I love the idea of, okay, we're coming up with aliases right now. What kind of name is believable, but also kind of fun, so that we could play around with it? You know,
Sanjay Collins.
Yeah.
Chuck Vindaloo. No, but it's such a good movie, man. But this movie, I can honestly say I don't know how many times you watch this movie, but I've probably seen it close to 50 times. I think I can practically recite it from start to finish. How about you?
Yeah.
You got any movies like that, or you can just rifle through?
Not really. I just the ones that I've watched. I mean, you have like a spiritual connection to this movie. It seems like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's movies that I've watched 50 times, but it's not because I was like, this is my favorite movie or anything. It's because there'd be an era of my life where I would stay up to, let's say, 3:00 in the morning and just watch DVDs that I had. And I only had a handful of DVDs. So it was just like I would watch Blade all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, with repetition, you just start to memorize the lines and the words.
But like, it'd be like Fast and Furious, maybe Predator. I can recite.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But one thing about this movie, yeah, there's a lot. I do have a lot of connections to this movie, which I'll get into. But one of which was this movie made me have an outdoor wedding. That was a non-negotiable for me. So I told Linz, I was like, I'm literally not going to marry you unless we have an outdoor wedding, right? And again, it was only because of this wedding that they had, the Cleary wedding. I'm watching this movie. I'm like, this is so sick. I just love the whole outside. I don't even know aura to it. You know what I mean? With like the tent, which we had as well. And I just seemed like it was like a lot more fun. Right. But, I don't know if you recall my wedding, but it was fairly hot.
Yeah.
It ended up being good weather. Right. But it was pretty hot, August 26th. So you get right into that. You try to find the right time if you're going to outdoor wedding, because if it rains, you're screwed. And then she would have been pissed. So that's why she was apprehensive. She's like, dude, there's no way. We have to have it indoors. I'm like, it's not negotiable. So I'll try to find the best time period that we can have it outside where there's minimal chance of rain. But I'll tell you what, man, if that was the case, it would have rained. I just would have been like, all right, this is a bad omen. So I'm just going to not follow through with it and just marry her.
I was looking at pictures of your wedding randomly somehow. I don't know where I came across it. Maybe on your social media or something. It came across my desk.
Oh, because it was my anniversary, probably. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I saw you and your brothers, and I was like, these guys, because you mentioned it was hot. You guys weren't wearing jackets, correct?
No.
Or incorrect.
We were not wearing jackets.
Right. Okay. I thought as much. Maybe not even ties.
Now, so what I did was I had a jacket on with an opened, buttoned undershirt. And then I had it like rolled up 3/4 sleeves, and I just took off the jacket immediately after the ceremony because it was that hot.
Yeah.
And then I had all my groomsmen in the same button up, like a white just dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up. So yeah, I think they had thin black ties, but I just told them just take them off like immediately. So
yeah. Now,
but
on the topic of your wedding, just out of curiosity, let's say you're walking around and you see some guy and you're like, who is that guy? And you find out someone crashed your wedding. Well,
immediately,
what would your reaction be?
With my personality, I'm trying to get him in the fold. I want to get him involved for sure. I would not bother me one bit. If I found out that's what was the case, I'm like, all right, dude, get in here. Bring it in for the real thing. So, yeah, that wouldn't bother me one bit personally. But let's get into some fun facts from this movie. The first week of shooting, this is pretty wild though. The first week of shooting was the opening montage of all the different weddings they show, which is kind of wild when you think about it because it takes up about 5 minutes of screen time. And I'm just thinking about how grueling of a process this was, dude, because, dude, you're talking set design, all that shit, all the actors, bringing them in for literally 5 minutes of this 2-hour movie. And that took a week, and a week of filming is a long time to get 5 minutes. Pretty impressive.
Kind of crazy. Yeah, it is impressive. This montage scene goes so fast. They just zip right, quick cuts and everything.
But I'll argue that it sets the tone for the movie.
Absolutely. It's a phenomenal scene. And, it's just something to think about how much work goes into these kind of things that you kind of don't really realize because it goes by so fast.
Dude, I said it in Blow when they had that, like, what was it, like 30-second montage? Like, they had to travel all these different locations, get the actors there, set them all up.
Costumes.
Do the lighting. Yeah, for sure. Another one was Bradley Cooper. He's been on record saying this movie / role got him noticed. I kind of thought it was more The Hangover that got him noticed, but you could argue, I guess, this character kind of segued him into that role in The Hangover, kind of the asshole, confident guy. Whereas I guess I think he was in a show before that, Alias or something like that. And I think he was like the good guy. Yeah. And he was like the good guy, Mr. Perfect or whatever. So I could see that. But yeah, he definitely stands out in this movie for sure.
Homeboy went to Jenkintown. He's from Jenkintown.
Yeah, he's a Philly guy. Yep.
Think about that. There's a number of Jenkintown people that I went to high school with.
Jenkies.
Jenkies. I don't know. I feel like The Hangover was his breakout role. But
I thought so. Yeah.
Like when I saw him in The Hangover, I was like, oh, there's the guy from Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have an incredible amount of lines in this movie, but I think he stands out pretty well because of just how over the top his character is.
Yeah.
But
totally.
Definitely, I mean, Hangover, you're watching that movie, like this dude rules. Like he commands some respect in that movie. I think.
He's the Chad of The Hangover.
Exactly. He's the Chad, right? And that just kind of propelled him into stardom to get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But I guess he is a student of the craft. I mean, he wants to do all kinds of crazy roles, doesn't always just want to be like the heartthrob, which is cool. So I respect. But, and then John McCain, I don't know if you caught this one, but John McCain has a cameo in this when him and I can never remember the bald guy from Assassination. The two of them are shaking Secretary Cleary's hand. And apparently McCain got a lot of pushback for this because he was going after Hollywood in Congress for marketing R-rated films to kids. And then here he's in one, which apparently he didn't even know really anything about the movie, to be honest with you. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on that.
I see McCain and I was like, that's kind of just weird. Why is McCain in this movie? The other guy is the Democratic strategist guy. He was always on the news. I forget his name too.
About it.
But, I guess it's because Christopher Walken's character is Secretary of the Treasury.
Right.
And whatever. So they get these politician types in just for the cameo. But like, how many people watching this are like, dude, that's John McCain.
Exactly,
wow.
Dude. Exactly. Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me he's calling out rated R movies or whatever because he's, I guess, supposed to be a Republican. But
I guess so. Anyhow.
A 2005 Republican, It's a different time, folks.
Exactly. First time watching this movie. Tell me about that.
I don't have I remember watching this with my buddy Albert, who lived down the street from me.
Albert React.
And I think he was enamored with the idea of going to weddings and picking up chicks. I don't exactly remember. I kind of had this vague memory of, him being all about this movie right when it came out. And I think he was kind of in the pickup artist scene too.
Okay.
A very powerful overlap between these two kind of genres.
Exactly.
Crashing weddings and pickup artistry. But that was my memory of it. How about you?
This one, yeah, it probably would have been, I guess it came out in 2005. I was in college, and our buddies Joe and our buddy Venor, who has since passed away, they introduced me to this movie. This was like, they were living together and they watched this movie. Like, they had their repertoire of, films that they were into and watched nonstop. But they're like, dude, you got to watch this movie. So before you know it, we're just getting drunk. I'm crashing at their place. We're just watching it. Or we go down to the beach every summer, Ocean City, Maryland. And you've been on these trips. Mm-hmm. You get drunk, come back to the house, throw on Wedding Crashers or The Wizard or something completely insane or unhinged and just quote it from start to finish. But yeah, man, this movie was just one of those where like you're saying the lines to each other while we're out at the bar or something kind of thing. So yeah, this is a personal favorite of mine.
I do remember going down to the shore with you guys, and I noted that one of the DVDs that Joe or Benoit brought was Wedding Crashers. And
yeah, you're like, dude, what are these guys are completely insane. Like they just brought this plethora of movies to watch. What are you even going to watch? And we have like a beach house. We're going down to the beach and the bars and shit. So anyhow, literally me character. Who is it for you?
Dude, this is kind of like, I don't really resonate with anyone in this movie. Except maybe Chazz at the end, played by Will Ferrell. Mm-hmm. But not because I'm out crashing weddings and picking up chicks. It's actually just because I'm very apt to just live with my mom in my 40s and just carry nunchucks around the house. That's me.
You were chucking. I remember we were talking before.
I'm a big chucker.
Big chucker. I'd have to go with Vince Vaughn's character, Jeremy. We're both
big
tall.
Guy.
Oh yeah, big guy. We're both tall. We get left in the trenches taking grenades, and we think we can dance. That's pretty accurate. But yeah, no, he's relatable. I can relate to this dude. But tell me what this movie's all about, then.
Dude, this movie is all about the hedonic treadmill, and what that means is seeking pleasure as your top priority. And once you start seeking pleasure, then all of a sudden it just doesn't do it for you anymore. It's not hitting hard. So you got to double down and seek more.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys, how old are they in this? How old is Vince Vaughn supposed to be in this?
Well, there's two different occasions in this movie where first, I think, Owen Wilson says it to Vince Vaughn. He's like, we're not that young anymore.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, oh, we're just a couple of young kids having fun. He's like, well, we're not that young anymore. And then Rachel McAdams says it to Owen Wilson. She's like, well, you're not that young. So it's like, I did the math on this. I looked it up. They're 35 and 36 respectively in this.
Oh my God. That's interesting.
Now the characters might be meant to be a little younger, but in real life, IRL, Vince Vaughn's 35 and Owen's 36.
At one point, Owen Wilson, I think he mentioned something along the lines that they've been doing it for 13 years.
Oh boy.
I could be wrong, but it's just, how long are these guys going to be doing this, crashing weddings? And I guess the idea is like they're these two successful guys, right? They're in these apartments or whatever.
Well, what are they? They're like divorce counselors.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's one of those where it's like, okay, like they're successful, they just keep, it's a great point. It's like, how long do you need to do this for?
And that's the story is about, these guys falling in love and overcoming their own mental obstacles, but it's under the it's seen through the lens of these guys are on the hedonic treadmill, and I guess it's Owen Wilson kind of more pushing for the idea of we got to get off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because he's the one that mentioned, I think he goes like, we're not young. And by the way, when he's saying we're not that young, boy, that hits hard as a 41-year-old guy.
Hey, dude, it's the truth. I did the math on that. I'm like, okay, they're 35. Fortunately, they both find the loves of their lives. Their last crash. But it's like, okay, yeah, they're 35. You got to meet somebody. You got to, make sure that's the right person. If you plan on having kids, then you're into your 40s, right? So
yeah, at 35, you're gonna be like, what are we doing here, folks?
I don't know if you saw this commercial that just came out with these two, and it's like clearly referencing these two characters, but not anything to do with weddings. But they're like watching TV together or something, and they're really trying to bring back this '05 energy, right? And it doesn't really come off too well because Vince Vaughn, bro, like, I don't know if you've seen him recently in some of these movies he's been in. I feel like this dude is kind of black-pilled at this point in his life. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I'm not exactly sure what commercial you're referencing, but I can just kind of get an idea of it in my mind. And early 2000s nostalgia is so hot right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is Vaughn black-pilled? What's he been in?
A movie with Uncle Mel.
Right?
He's been in that, like, not a lot, dude.
Not a lot. It's kind of weird B movies, right? Nothing to the caliber of what he was doing back then.
No.
Right? And there probably is some kind of black-pilled mentality at this point with this guy. And I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? He was in that, I don't know if you saw that prison movie.
That's what I was referencing. Yeah. He's got 4 upcoming movies. Dodgeball 2. Get out of here. Unbelievable.
Another sequel. Here we go.
But since '05, since this movie, man, it's
bleak. Pretty bleak.
Yeah.
I mean, and whatever. The guy is a phenomenon. He did True Detective season 2.
I thought he was good in. Yep.
I want to talk about Keno, folks. Keno on the down low. Yeah, we're big True Detective season 1 fans, but season 2 is secretly Keno as well.
Yeah, so well, I guess, into the mid 2000s, even up to when he was doing True Detective. Sorry, I'm just going through this. Yeah, but yeah, recently, man, past couple years, not much.
It's a shame, man. I mean, because he probably excelled at this kind of movie. There was that era of frat movies, I guess you would call them. I don't know.
The Internship, Delivery Man. Yeah. So it's a good point too. Cause yeah, I mean, this type of comedy, I will get to it later, but this type of comedy doesn't exist anymore. So he's kind of, he's a man with no country.
Yeah. I mean, he's not young either. There's also that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
let's get into some of these Keno scenes. Your thoughts on Vince Vaughn's philosophy on dating? You have this opening scene where this chick comes in and he's like, yeah, that would be kind of creepy because he's staying over at his house because his parents died, but he just goes into this whole thing about blind dates and how he doesn't, mess with them. But, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, his idea on blind dates is kind of, legitimate in my eyes because it just seems like a silly thing. Oh, I got to be forced into this kind of, personal thing now where, oh, do we vibe? His whole back and forth with her about that. But then there's the other side of the coin because part of the movie is he is not willing to fall in love. He's not willing to kind of even go past the casual encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think I'm against that.
Right.
Because I mean, what kind of life is that? You can't just go crashing weddings your whole life, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of against his philosophy on dating, to be honest with you. I guess I'm not a big fan of blind dates. But
it's a good take. And then I just love how this, after she walks out, Owen Wilson comes into his office with this like mini little mouthwash cup. It's such a dumb little thing that they throw in there. I don't get it. But it's just little things like that. Or they're at that Jewish wedding at the beginning and he's like, has this piece of paper. It's like, anyone know what this is for? And the kid goes, rolling a fatty. It's like, these are just these little things that they just do not have in comedies anymore.
Do Zoomers even roll fatties?
Who knows, man? They don't. I know they don't drink apparently. But it's just, I don't know, man. I complain about this constantly, and I'll continue to do so, that they just don't make good stuff anymore. And man, I would kill for a comedy like this. But did you see the new Happy Gilmore? Out of curiosity,
I did not. I kind of just refused to watch it because maybe I'm the one that's actually black-pilled here.
I don't know, man, because the people that I asked that were kind of even excited to go to see it were in the same thought process of it's just kind of, they're trying to regurgitate the same jokes in the first one, just get those nostalgia laughs. There's no new content. There's no new ideas. And it's just like, I don't know, it sucks. But
yeah, it's like, and perhaps the reason why there's no comedy anymore is because it's hard to be edgy.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
I mean, is that what's creating the laughs? I'm not sure. It's part of it, though. It's probably part of the equation. Mm-hmm. And Happy Gilmore, the original, is like 30 years ago. Yeah. Totally different world, dude. Like the mid 90s to the mid 2020s is totally different, like everything. So to just take that kind of formula and bring it over,
right,
is kind of alarming that they would do such a thing.
Right. Yeah, it's possible.
One of the things I'm watching this movie, though, and instantly you're hit with the wedding season montage, right? And I'm like, this is such an over the top extroverted behavior from both of these guys, right? And I'm like, what planet would this be possible? Like, imagine you do the kind of stuff instead of imagine me going and crashing weddings, right? And I'm trying to like be this extroverted. It's like, instead of the positive reaction that they get, people are just, they look at me like, what the hell is wrong with this person? And
who is this guy?
So who invited you here exactly?
I'm Uncle Ned's kids. We're Uncle Ned's kids.
Right. It's like a movie based upon these guys sneaking into weddings, right? It sure is strange that they're doing literally everything they can to draw attention to themselves.
That's a good point. Yeah, because where they're doing the song Shout, and he's just at the wedding cake stuffing cake in his face right by the bride and groom. He's like, get a picture. It's like, yeah, they're drawing quite a bit of attention to themselves.
Not anyone, people aren't just like, who is this dude cutting the cake?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know this guy. Who is that guy? But they're so over with the crowd.
Oh yeah, so over
that you're like, how is this even possible? It's only movie magic.
Yep.
Which goes back to my earlier point of like, people see this and they think it's possible. They think it's going to turn out just like the movie. I'm going to be the center of attention.
Like, yeah, bro, go for it, man. I'm sure you can get over with the crowd. It's like, these are actors in a movie, and you have a fraction of the charisma as Vince Vaughn does.
Right. And the reactions to the lines they're giving are perfectly crafted, specifically made so that they look real sharp and fast in their witty comebacks and everything. Real world might be a little different, you know?
Good thing I never tried to crash a wedding.
Yeah, and that's is there some kind of element when you watch this movie, people watch it, there's some kind of element of fantasy fulfillment where your average chud is like, oh my God, I'm going to get the girl. I can have the sex with the hot girls at a wedding. All I got to do is muster enough courage to just get in that door. I just got to get a suit on and I just got to get in that door. And I'm going to make up for all these years lost in high school.
All right, Chud, go for it. The problem is, your average Chud just doesn't really have that canine in him. I think that's the only problem.
And I think they don't have that dog in them. And it's like they watch this movie and I think they think it's possible and they act out their fantasy through watching this movie as opposed to trying something in real life. I mean, your average Chud, they're not going to an actual wedding and doing this. See, the person I mentioned earlier, Dom, is my friend from high school, was a complete lunatic, a madman. Goddamn great dude, but total maniac. He would do it because he has that charisma, See,
I just couldn't do it because I would just be too lazy. It's like,
right.
It's me personally. It's like, I have no interest, but it's here to there.
Hey, and here we go. We got to do it, folks. We got to bring it up. Maybe not everyone's going to like where we go with this. Okay. But bear with us. Hear us out, folks. The topic of, is she actually hot? Now,
I know we bring this up quite a bit.
But
movies.
I think it's important because there's something to be said about Rachel McAdams. I think she's hot. Okay. If you watch that montage that they do earlier in the movie, there's like supermodel women that they're having the sex with, right? So you would think, okay, their level of their charisma level and
knows no bounds.
Gamesmanship, their game is a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're good looking guys, so they can get 10 out of 10 supermodel women. But then, oh my God, what happens? They go to the Cleary wedding, the big wedding, and they're doing their little strategy session outside. And Owen Wilson makes eye contact with Rachel McAdams, and he seems to fall in love at first sight. Correct?
Yeah, it really is on screen. I was actually going to bring that up. It's like a love at first sight moment.
Now, why though? And my speculation is that he sees something in her he sees a part of himself in her, where she's kind of the whole movie where they're together. She's kind of matching him in his kind of attitude, his cockiness, his sharp, witty comebacks and everything.
Good point.
She kind of matches him. And how he would be able to tell on the first sight, I don't know. Subconscious communication, right? Aura. He's aura maxing. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, she's not like the hottest woman in the world, not even in this movie, but she's very attractive. And it's something about her attitude that takes her to the girl that he eventually falls in love with.
And she has a great character persona about her, but to your point, it's like he would not know that the first time he just sees her. And personally, I was never the biggest Rachel McAdams fan. I think she's a great actress. I think she's definitely, the character in this movie is great, very witty, very likable. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she's pretty.
This is her prime. This is her the biggest Rachel McAdams movie, perhaps. I'm not sure.
The Notebook.
The Notebook, perhaps, but was this her prime? Did it all go downhill from here?
Well,
Talk about
True Detective.
True Detective season 2
with
with Vince Vaughn. But
no, I mean, I give her, she's pretty. I'll give her that.
Now, that being said, I'm just going to throw this in here. The other girl that Vince Vaughn, Gloria, absolute waifu tier.
I don't know. I'm going to say they're right in the same plane, King. I don't know. Walk me through that.
I think her name's is it Isla Fisher?
Yes.
I believe. I don't know. I just think that she's absolute waifu tier. She's my wife in real life.
But getting back to the movie and the chronology of it, I love this scene where they're at the wedding and John sees Secretary Cleary like all alone, right? And he swoops in to win him over. You ever do that at a wedding?
No, not really.
You just start rapping to some dude who's in no man land?
Yeah, you bring him into the fold, kind of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like, and I love when he's talking to him about all his papers and shit, and just Christopher Walken's reaction to him. He's like, yes, well put, short-sighted. Walken in this movie is so good, man. I love him.
Yeah,
but
it's classic Walken, just giving these like Walken. I don't even know what you call his accent or whatever he's doing, but he does it. It's every time, every scene he's in, it just gives that Walken like yes. But I love just the his interactions between the two of them. It's more of the middle part of the movie, but just between him and Owen Wilson is really good. I like how he asked him if he wants to smoke cigars, and
Stogies, sure.
Stogies, why not?
Why not?
And there's something that happens in this movie all the time, and I love it. Is they'll have a scene start, and it's just someone walks in on a conversation mid sentence, right? And it's like Owen Wilson's character John. He's talking to Secretary Cleary, and Claire walks up mid conversation. Secretary says, he thinks Moby Dick is a venereal disease. Well, that's what I mean. And you're like, what? Like, what could they have been talking about there? What was the context of that conversation? Like,
exactly.
And earlier in the wedding season montage, John, he says at the table, it just cuts to him, he goes, and then everyone said jabroni, and like the whole table just starts laughing hysterically. And it's just like, what were they talking about there again?
But this is what I'm saying, man. This is like the good writing. This is where it's like funny as hell. You just don't get this comedy. I hate to beat a dead horse, but
I resonate with that so much though, because like we used to. I don't know if it was just in like late grade school or high school, but we would do this thing at lunch where we would say some really dumb thing, really like horrible joke type thing. And then we would all in the table just start hysterically laughing on purpose, just so that we would get the attention of everyone in the cafeteria. And it's like that kind of same thing where you're like, and then everyone said jabroni.
Oh, dude. Yeah. But getting back to the whole comedy aspect of it, Jeremy and Gloria just get done having sex on the beach. And he's like, we're all one. The fat kid from What's Happening. Nat King Cole. Harry Potter, if he existed. Jay-Z. The whore on the street corner. Your mother. Like, his delivery in it. And it's just, it can't be that hard when you have such good line. I'm giving credit to the writing, which I rarely do. And, modern day movies. But it's like, when you have such good writing, you can kind of just deliver it in any type of way, and it's going to come off good. You know what I mean? You can just have fun with it, because this should not be hard for Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
Another good one is that Craig's best man is giving his speech, right? And he's like the most 2000 looking dude with that like blonde spiky hair. But anyway, he's like, it just cuts right to him immediately. And he's like, so after my 9th stint in rehab, Craig was the only one who still believed in me. And he just like grabs his hair and starts rubbing it. It's like, this is the type of shit, man, you just don't get in comedies anymore. I just love it.
Yeah. It's like on paper, he was to just say that line, which is absurd enough.
He delivers it well, dude.
Adding the massaging of the hair is so just like slightly disturbing. You're like, what is this about?
And that's what I'm saying, though. It's like between the director, what's written by the writer, and the actor, it's like, okay, they nailed it. somebody had,
Yeah.
but I don't even know how to explain it, but it just comes together. It's just so absent nowadays. Anyhow, leads to the stage 5 clinger. Ever had one of them?
Not really. I've had some instances where I would like specifically decide that I'm not gonna bang this woman. Where it gets up to a certain point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna bang, like, and then they get pissed. Like, if a woman is already like committing to, if they're like committing to going back home with you, and then you just bounce,
Irish
goodbye style.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. This is especially true if you already went out with them, maybe more than once.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm just going to Irish goodbye. Or like a similar situation where they're at your house and you're like, I'm not going to bang you. Like, this isn't going to happen. Like, all right. So anyway, like, see ya. They'll get pissed, dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that qualifies as a clinger,
right?
But they'll get mad.
Well, I mean,
what about you?
I don't know about stage 5. I would say maybe stage 3 or 4. But I think in this movie, it's where he even says the line later on where he's like, there's a difference between love and infatuation, right? Mm-hmm. Because he thinks that when she says she's like a virgin, right? I think that's kind of where the translation is lost. But it leads us to this infamous football scene, right? And the only thing worth mentioning in this entire football scene, although it's pretty funny, is, I don't know if you caught this, but Vince Vaughn's face when the dude says crab cakes and football, right? That's what Marilyn does. It kind of pans back and Vince Vaughn just standing there kind of like smirking at him, kind of like dumbfounded by this dude, but his fingers are interlaced across his body. And he's just watching this dude. You have to go back and watch it, dude. It's the funniest shit. It's the most just true response ever. I just love it.
We talk about random actors in these movies, right? That come up big. The best random actors in these movies are Sack's friends.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. The trapster.
Damn, sluts.
Damn, sluts.
Was this right here? This is I'm watching this movie and I kind of remember when it came out where this was on a time where Will Ferrell had already had a bunch of movies come out.
Yeah.
That were big hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then this movie came out and he's kind of this small role in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, was this where Will Ferrell jumped the shark?
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. I think that was what the whole thing with this movie was they're going to bring him in and that's just going to put it over the edge, which I guess it kind of did. It served its purpose. Like, it would have been good if he had any, because you don't know who it is. They're talking about him all movie and then it's revealed, you know, even when he comes down the stairs, he's dark. And honestly, man, I just had so many buddies in high school who just constantly quoted Will Ferrell quotes. I'm just like, dude, I'm so over this guy, right? There's no question that he's great. I mean, Step Brothers is maybe an all-time favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a good point. Good take. Not necessary for him to be in it, but it definitely, I guess, boosted it a little bit.
Well, there was like a lot of movies. There's Will Ferrell movies that I like. Mm-hmm. But at some point, does the audience get tired of this same character over and over?
That's a good
again?
point. Yeah. It happens all the time in Hollywood. You just become the same character over and over.
I think that's kind of like what happened with him.
The Rock right now, people are getting tired of it.
Had enough of this Rock. He stopped doing steroids and he lost 50 pounds or something.
Cow, dude. He looks
I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Completely insane.
There's a scene when they're having dinner, and I just thought this was completely insane, almost to the point where it took me out of it. I was like, this can't be possible. and it's almost too graphic. The camera stays too long.
Are you talking about the dinner scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gloria is rubbing Jeremy's crotch, like over his pants.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera stays too long on his pants, where you're like, what is happening here?
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Like uncomfortably too long. And it cuts to John. He like looks over down at Jeremy's crotch, and there's this mix of revulsion and disappointment that this would be going on, because this is like outside the rules of the Wedding Crasher like rules. Like, you can't be doing this at dinner, dude. What do you?
I'll tell you what. But throughout this entire movie, that might be the best part of it, is the looks they give each other. It feels so natural, like it's like two best friends, and just their reactions to things like this. It's like, what, dude? It's so true. Yeah. What a wild scene.
There's a morning after breakfast scene you're familiar with.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Now, the thing that sticks out to me is their chemistry here is so good, where Owen Wilson's like, there he is. It's the big guy. Get in here. Right. Like, I love that familiarity with each other and everything. And then at the end, he convinces Vaughn to stay. And he goes, can I tell you something without you getting angry? I love you. Yeah, you big guy. And he's just saying it like from behind, because he refuses to sit with them.
Our buddy Joe always says that to me. He's like, there he is, the big guy. So yeah, that whole scene is great, because it's like, it just goes to show how close they are as friends, because then, he obviously says the whole line of never leave a crasher behind, but that Vince Vaughn's not going to leave his buddy out to dry, right? And it just goes to show you their relationship. But out of curiosity, have you ever been in a situation like this with what Jeremy's in, where it's like you're stuck in this situation and every minute sucks and you just got to kind of grind it out?
Oh yeah, dude.
With like the Gloria and the Todd, obviously before he falls in love with her, but his range of emotions throughout this whole like wedding up until the end is so peak. Vince Vaughn.
Mostly during my time in Philly, living with my roommate, and you just find yourself in weird situations.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I guess I got to grind this out, but an exciting time nonetheless. Yeah. But you just kind of find your way through it. You just work it out. You just keep going. And at some point it's over. Yeah. That's it.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. You just gotta wait for the end.
Best facial expression in the movie is when John walks in on Jeremy making out with Gloria after he got beat up by Sack, when he tries to meet up with Claire again.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy runs after him, and John stops him on the street, and he's like, I'll love with you. I care about her a lot. I love her. And he makes this face when he says I love her, where he squints one of his eyes. He's like, I love her. And it's almost like he can't even believe himself. He can't even believe he's saying this stuff in public, nonetheless.
Judas, you're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
You're the Sack. She'll come to you. Yeah, it's and he chases him after him with the suit on or whatever. But yeah, how 2000s is this montage, right? After that, where it shows Owen Wilson kind of walking down the street with his hands in his pockets, and it's like it plays the entirety of like a 3-minute song, but that's just so 2000s of any movie, like a rom-com or something, which is kind of genius when you think about it, because all these things are happening. They'll just show characters doing stuff and the music playing, and then if they want to have them talk, they'll just bring the music down, the volume, and they'll be talking over it. So it's kind of genius, because you can get a ton of character development occurring, like literally in a 3-minute span of this song.
And even another montage of him crashing weddings by himself.
Exactly.
Going completely insane. But is you're like, oh, here's another instance of them having to do a ton of work just for even less screen time here. Right?
Yep. And then, well, after that montage ends, it's like, I love the scene where Jeremy comes over to his house, like, hey, he can't break tradition. He's going to stay at his house for his birthday or whatever. They hug it out. They're laughing. It seems like everything's cool. And Vince Vaughn's like, so I'm getting married. And he's like, get out. Out. What? He's like, kindly leave. He's like, what? But just kindly leave. That's like one of my favorite, dude. He's like, and then Vince Vaughn's walking. He's like, better get your ass to that wedding. It's so good.
Like, this last scene, it's this wedding of Jeremy and Gloria. And obviously, the whole family is going to be there, right? Does Jeremy tell everyone that John is the best man?
I would imagine that they probably knew ahead of time that he was going to be there. He probably warned everyone, like, hey, he's going to show up. He's the best man.
Yeah.
Because they have to line up. They have to line up with the respective. I mean, they're already at the altar. Yeah. Because there's the same number of guys as there's girls.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, so this dude just zips in. Like, here I am, late to the wedding, and the whole church turns and looks to him, and it's super awkward.
The door shuts, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, imagine if you were just some random person at this wedding, like, a cousin or something, and you're bearing witness to the greatest wedding of all time. This dude comes in, it's super awkward, walks up, the Secret Service tries to stop him.
Yeah, right.
The groom starts yelling at him. He walks up, there's this weird conversations going on. Then he gives his own speech of like how he loves this girl and everything. You're like, what kind of level of cringe is this? Like, imagine if you're there, you have no idea what's going on. Like,
well, I mean, if they're all Hollywood A-listers, that they look like Hollywood A-listers, then yeah, it might be. But if they're just some crumbs that it's like super cringe and awkward, then it might have a little bit different staying power. But I think it'd actually be super entertaining. It's like these ceremonies are boring, right? And
oh, yeah.
Oh, there's some drama. Dude, my family, every wedding has drama. Every wedding. That's the conversation for another episode. But I also enjoy how he does his little speech here. And he says he crashed a funeral the other day, and the crowd all gasps. Like, simultaneously, everyone in the crowd. It's like, how would they even know what that means? I crashed a funeral. And everyone's like,
right.
How could they know that?
It's a great question. And, I don't know.
And then another notable thing about the scene is Secretary Cleary is giving this speech to Sack about how, he's like, I like you because you make Claire happy and yada, yada, yada. He's like, but I got to side with my daughter. And Sack just goes, you don't know shit. Claire, he just like completely disregards him, which I love. And then the last thing is Sack, jumps over the pew and he flips his tie while jumping over, which if you saw is the second time he does this in the movie while he's about to punch Owen Wilson. What's this about, this flipping of the tie?
Dude, I saw that and I was like, what did I just see? It's those weird kind of things that you just maybe don't even consciously realize the first time you're watching this. But you're right. I watched it and I'm like, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
I got to get my tie out of my way to do a right cross against this guy. It's very strange. Totally knocked out by Vaughn after that, but
the big guy. Anyway, so that's pretty much the movie right there. They all ride off into the sunset. Just a couple of couples, and then it plays some. I don't even know what that emo band was for pop punk band from the mid 2000s, but anyhow, that leaves us with nothing but the Kino rating left, my friend. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I give this movie a 7. I think it still holds up as funny after not seeing it I haven't seen this movie for so long, dude. And this is what I'll say about this movie. Perhaps the best movie to get over being someone that forgot how to go out and interact with people.
There you go.
I mean, you ever find yourself just kind of like sitting in every weekend? Maybe you don't have any reference for this because like you have a family and stuff, but there's times where it's a Saturday night.
Okay,
I feel like I
see what you're saying.
Go out,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can use this.
You get caught in the routine.
Yeah, totally. You could watch this movie. Let's say you pre-gaming and you throw this movie on as kind of a way to
boost yourself up. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get that energy of just kind of like, I can be anyone I want. I can make up any character I want. And that character might be a charismatic coxman.
That's any movie though. I mean, you could be ready to go to the bar and throw on Drive, and you could download Driver for Drive.
And Brood.
Just Brood out at the bar. Potentially picking up the cutie. For me, I mean, I'm a little bit off on this one than you, but I give it an 8.2. Right? Might be a bit high compared to its IMDb rating. But to me, I mean, this is just peak comedy. In fact, this is probably a top 5 comedy for me all time. I mean, it's got great acting, hilarious dialogue, and a love story, if you will.
A love story. Oh my gosh.
What more can you ask for? It's honestly just a great feel-good movie that I think you could watch a million times. But what do I know?
Folks, I mean, there you have it. Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's old school comedy. Definitely worth a watch. But what do we got on the docket for next week?
Okay, we have next week. Make sure you tune in. It's The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, God, dude, this is my shit right there. You want to talk about comedies?
This is an experimental episode for us because this is kind of one of those movies where, has anyone seen this? Not many
really.
people,
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's a doozy.
Island of Dr. Moreau next week, so get ready.
Catch you in the next one.
See ya.